Do you ever feel like this is what your safety program looks like? The good news is there is a way to solve the Rubik's Cube of OSHA. And by the way, if this is what your safety program looks like, what kind of fines do you think you might be able to receive when OSHA shows up? So, how do we solve that cube of OSHA? Well, there's 4 concepts that OSHA wants us to focus on. One of those concepts is getting one side of OSHA's cube. That first side is management commitment. Once we have management commitment, we now have the base or foundation of OSHA's cube. It's not just management commitment that we need though, we also need to have employee involvement. When OSHA comes in and does an inspection of the facility, they do talk to employees on many occasions. If they talk to your employees, what would they find? And if they didn't get the answers they were looking for, how would that affect the fines that you might receive from OSHA? From there, we go to the opposite side of the cube, and that is employee involvement. So we've got management commitment and we've got employee involvement. Once we have those two, we're well on the way to solving the cube of OSHA. The next thing that we've got to do is get the rings around each side of this cube. So I want to get all of the colors to be the same throughout each of these rings along the sides. What is that as far as OSHA's cube goes? Well, essentially that would be like the worksite analysis, the hazard analysis, going through the facility and figuring out where the issues are, getting the employees involved in order to solve those problems, and management's commitment to put the funds, times, and resources to make those things actually happen. Now we have not only the management commitment and employee involvement, but we've done our worksite analysis, we know what's wrong, and we're well on our way to solving the cube of OSHA. What's the very last thing that we need to do in order to solve the cube of OSHA? It would be get the core of the cube. How do we get the core of the cube? Well, that's training our employees. Once our employees are trained, know what to do, our policies and procedures are in place from the management commitment, we now have management commitment, employee involvement, we have the rings around each side, which is the worksite analysis, and finally the training in place, and voila, we have solved the cube of OSHA. If you'd like help on solving your cube of OSHA, go to www.theoshaAnswerguy.com. Thanks a lot.